Hello. Right, funnily enough, someone came up on Twitter today and said they'd received, I think it was Surrey Police, they'd received a speeding ticket for doing 45 and a 40. Um, and what were Surrey Police going to do about the break into the guy's garden shed that he'd reported last year? So, as we all know, they're in it for the fucking revenue because they're a bunch of law breaking, thieving bastards. Anyway, funnily enough, as I say, I received my decision back from the IOPC today regarding my speeding fine, which was in Kent. Now, if you will recall, there were a couple of details to this. They sent me a couple of wodges of paperwork, which I ripped up on camera and threw in the bin. They said they'd sent me a letter, but they hadn't, because they're lying bastards. And the next thing I knew, they'd gone ahead and had a secret court case because they're a bunch of fucking Nazis. Which was discussed the other day, actually, with the warrant thing I got through. Well, the bit of toilet paper I got through from Marston's. So I'm just going to minimise this. So I can, unfortunately, I'm not at home, so I can't print this out. Now, I'm sure I've gone through some of this before, but there are a fantastic amount of new subscribers on the channel. So to save you going back through 1,000 videos, sorry, I'm just going to read some of this out. This is the IOPC in action. Please note, my role as an assessment analyst is to assess whether or not your complaint should be recorded within the provisions of the Police Reform Act 2002. It is not in my professional capacity to investigate the allegations that you raise. No, because you can send it back to the police and say, I think you should reinvestigate this, but they can just go, fuck off, and throw it in the bin. Because you have no power to force them to reinvestigate it, because you're fucking useless. Right, so, moving on. You state that you wish to make a complaint against Kent Police for a speeding fine you received some months ago. You further add you have received forms which detailed you had been instructed via letter that legal process was commencing, but you had never received a letter. You further present your frustration that you were told that you would be prosecuted for not providing your details. You also explain that you never committed the offence and do not wish to pay the victim surcharge. No, that's not what I said, you see. What I said was, who's the victim? It's fucking me, because you've charged me a victim surcharge in a secret fucking court case because you're a bunch of fucking Nazis. Whew. So they twist things around, they change your words, they think you won't go back and check your emails, and you think, oh, well, that must be what I said. No, it's probably not, because again, they're a bunch of fucking liars, right? You don't have to sign a form that's going to be to your financial detriment against your fucking will, right? So what they do when you do what I did and rip the forms up on camera and threw it in the bin, is they do you for not providing your details. What's that got to do with fucking speeding? Right. Here we go. Thus, the PSD considered to record your complaint would be an abuse of the police complaint system. They always come out with this one, guys. It's always no, regardless of whether they've answered the fucking complaint or not. You could put it 100 times, they'd never answer the fucking question. You become vexatious, and you're abusing the procedure. That's because they can't be fucking bothered with you. Yeah? You're a pain in the fucking arse. They'd rather you go away and crawled under a fucking rock and just obeyed all the laws and paid all your fucking taxes, because it makes their life fucking easier. The complaint system is not the appropriate matter of dealing with the issues you raise. That of matters pertaining to a speeding fine and subsequent legal processes, your concerns should be raised to the court process as part of your defence. But as we all know, and it was even on Jeremy Vine on Radio 2, you're not allowed a fucking legal defence in a fucking speeding case. Isn't that fucking amazing? So, you're not allowed a defence, but you're not allowed to make a complaint about it either. Wow! A complaint is considered to be an abuse of the complaints procedure where there is or has been a manipulation or misuse of the complaint system in order to initiate or progress a complaint, which in all circumstances of the case should not be allowed to continue. Or in other words, they can't be fucking bothered. Fuck's sake. But they wouldn't want to accuse you personally of anything, so then they say, this is not to say that you personally are intending to abuse the police complaints procedure, but your complaints, if recorded, would amount to a misuse of the system. So you're not abusing the system, but you are abusing the system. So they're just fucking lying again. By the way, this is Hannah Tyler. I'm sure we've come across her before. I'm sure she was actually mentioned during when the thing was ongoing. Her telephone number, if that's not the main one for the office, is 0121 673 3812. Please do ask for her by name. And her email is Hannah, HANNAH, yes, .Tyler at policeconduct.gov.uk. So, please do all fucking contact this lying bitch and mention my name. Direct her in the direction of the channel. And here we go again. Within their rationale, the PSD stipulate that the complaint system is not the appropriate manner of dealing with issues that you raise regarding a speeding fine and subsequent legal processes. Thus, the PSD considered to record your complaint would be an abuse of the police complaint system. Everything's an abuse, guys. They don't want to fucking know. They're lying bastards. They're Nazis. They have secret fucking court cases. The complaint system is not the appropriate manner of dealing with issues that you raise, that of matters pertaining to a speeding fine and subsequent legal processes. Your concerns should be raised to the court processes as part of your defence. They just repeat themselves because they think you're fucking stupid. They think you're a stupid little fucking minion who lives under a fucking rock and drinks fucking oil. Again, you're not allowed a fucking legal defence in a speeding case. And again, they're going, IPC statute, she's repeating all this. I'm just reading this out as it's there. A complaint is considered to be an abuse of the complaint's procedures where there is or has been a manipulation or misuse of the complaint system in order to initiate a progressive complaint. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, seriously. You make a complaint, you're abusing the fucking system. You're not allowed to provide a legal defence, and then you're not allowed to make a complaint about not having a fucking legal defence because they have secret fucking court cases. You see where we're fucking going. It appears from the wording of your complaint that you're attempting to challenge a speeding ticket. Now, throw it in the bin, I think you'll find. Again, she repeats, this is because the correct channel to raise your concerns during the legal process is part of your defence, which you're not fucking allowed. Funnily enough, they've not upheld it. Sorry. Funnily enough, they've not upheld it. As I believe I mentioned earlier. You are not able to appeal my decision. What a fucking surprise. So there you go, guys. Quite incredible. All they do is repeat the same paragraph about 15 fucking times, using slightly different words here and there, basically saying, fuck you, we're in charge. There you go. Zeke Heil, IOPC. Ta-da!